Hey everybody, thanks for checking out my latest video. So chess.com has a new batch of bots based on superheroes. Mighty Martin, Green Pawn, Dead Lost, who's 1300, based on Deadpool. He was pretty easy to beat from Canada. And then BlunderWoman, who's 1650 from Greece. I found her a bit more difficult to beat, but I finally did beat her, and I wanted to share that game with you. Now, so with the black pieces, I'm about a 900 rating, but I haven't played too many live games lately. I'm probably closer to 1,000 or higher, but it is what it is. She opened with the queen's pawn, and I basically been playing the Caro-Kann against e4, so sort of do similar, just trying different things out to beat her. But it's actually, I think, called the Slav when you play it this way. She brought the pawn up instead of capturing. I brought out my knight to f6. Brought the bishop out here, which is pretty common in some of these maneuvers. If I get this white light squared pawn triangle, this is almost a disposable bishop, especially if you can mess up their pawn formation or different things. A lot of systems utilize this. Okay, so she brought the knight forward to threaten this bishop. I could have brought the bishop back here, or here or here, but I just decided to go ahead and exchange it if she wanted to with that. This isn't a normal thing that's done, but I had success another time doing this, especially with a bot. But anyway, so I decided to, instead of taking back the bishop, I brought out this knight to this d7. The knights are connected now, basically development. So she took it, I took back, pawn to boot me, and I brought my knight back. Now, you could say, well, I wasted a move or blah, blah, blah. But if you look at the positioning I have, when I get this out to here, I'm actually more developed than she is, and I'm going to have a light squared triangle with a dark squared bishop of pawns. So then I finished my pawn triangle. So here, a lot of people talk about this c5 move, with the Caro-Kann in particular. And I guess this is a Slav modern variation. It says 3 knights. The thing is, if you want to bring this out, if you want to bring your dark bishop out, you can do that, or you can brew it there. I don't really want to give up my other bishop right away. And if you go on this, your knight is hitting it, you're hitting it, etc. Especially if you go quickly on it. The queen comes out. So anyway, I went ahead and went for the c5. She didn't take back. She develops a bishop. Now here, so here I did develop the bishop out to here. There's probably what most people do, but I went ahead and did it there. For preparation to castle. A lot of times the computer makes it very difficult to castle. Okay, so she brought the knight in, threatening my other bishop. And again, I lost her many times, probably a good 10 to 20 times, so I was trying different things out. So here I said, well, if you want to exchange, I could put my knight on there, and I did that, and it's a nice knight, but it also protects this if she attacks it. So she did. So I've given up my 2 bishops. She's going to earn her 2 knights, which is usually a disadvantage, but it worked out well in this game. The knights were pretty awesome. Brought the pawn down. Now I finally took on d4. Didn't want to take on here because, that just helps her develop her bishop into a threatening thing. And here I'm causing some, opening it up a little bit for her pawns not to be as good as they were. She came down, threatened the knight, and I moved back to here, so I have this almost barricaded, although this could be coming, obviously. She castled. I brought the king out. The king could go, here. Excuse me, the queen. I brought it to here, just looking at, this, just being threatening and seeing what I can do over here. She brought the pawn to boot the queen. I tucked the queen in here, so now I do have this little fortress, but I've already started thinking, well, this queen could get trapped with all this stuff around here, so be careful. She brought out the bishop, pinning my knight to the king. I brought the rook over to protect it. She took there, equaling up the pawns. I castled. She brought down the a-pawn. I brought up my a-pawn to boot the bishop. She brought back the bishop. So everything's protected in my position. Now I brought the knight over to f6, so the knights are getting connected. Got a good defensive base on the castled side. She brought the knight. Now here I started thinking about getting this trapped, this queen, and I thought this h6 was a good move to free it up to withdraw all the way back here, and also that puts a little crimper on that dark bishop, because I've got the light squares pretty covered with pawns. So she came out and brought the pawn, attacked the pawn. I withdrew. Now look how much she's opened up her position already. And if you look at on the flip, if you flip it, like, she's brought everything forward, which is often considered dangerous, right, to do it that quickly in a game. But okay, so I withdrew the queen. She brought the pawn. I took the pawn. She took back. I withdrew the knight. I think this might have been a better move, but I withdrew the knight back to d7. She brought up the rook. I attacked with the f pawn. Got it double covered here on that square, triple covered, 4 times covered. So she swapped her light bishop for my knight. She didn't see any other good moves. So I took that. I'm threatening the rook. The rook slides over. I bring up the queen to attack the rook and put her in check on that. That's only on the light square right now. Well, she decided the queen attack for a queen swap, a queen exchange, and I thought about it for a bit, and I went ahead and did it. So we're basically even in all the pieces except for it's a bishop versus a knight. I've got her pawns are disconnected here, but she's got better, deeper pawns over here. But I went in and grabbed that one now, so I'm up a pawn. She grabbed it back. Now this was the one big blunder I made. She made one big blunder and I made one big blunder. I'll show you the evaluation after, which says there were great moves and more mistakes and blunders. But really, I looked back at this game a few times, and this was my one big blunder, and she followed it up with her one big blunder. So she brought the dark bishop in here, and what I missed was this. All I saw was this. I could have protected it like that. Could have slid the rook over to one of these. But I had tunnel vision. I mean, that probably would have been what I would have played. I think the computer said move the side and the rook would be better. But all I saw was this. So that's what I played. And you can see the bar just swung huge in her way. But the key is the turn order, the move order. What she has to do is take, I take, and then she picks up my rook, and the game's basically lost for me, unless somehow I could get that down. Pretty much the game's lost. She needed to take with the rook first, but she didn't. She just jumped the gun and took the rook on the 8th row. So I took her rook, put her in check, scooped up a pawn. I'm back up a pawn now. The game's fairly even. Bringing out my queen. So I want to get all my pieces on light squares. You can see almost all of them are already, barring that one, and because she's got a dark bishop. Maneuvering the knight. Get the knight in here in a nice hidey hole. Blocking this from moving further. If this comes down, take. If this comes, take, and it's blocked type thing. So she's staying on that diagonal file. Gobbled a pawn there, up 2 pawns. Brought back the rook. Here she withdrew the bishop, and I pinned the bishop, which was considered a great move. She brought the queen up to protect the bishop. Now here the move was this, where I just had come from, because it's protected, and that's a check, and that's let's see, yeah, that's a big move. I mean, that wins me the game pretty much, and but I missed that one. So I brought the queen up like that, basically made the game back to even. Not really sure why I did that. So she grabbed the pawn. Now I decided to move the knight in, protected. So we got this amassing in the center going on. She brought the bishop down. I brought the rook back up. Notice how inactive her rook's been. She brought the bishop down again. I brought the rook targeting this A pawn. She moved it forward. I gobbled that. So now I'm up 2 pawns again. She brought her rook attacking the B7. I brought it over out for an exchange because I will have a passed pawn going this down here and possibly one over here. She didn't want to exchange. I start galloping. Now notice this has been locked the whole time. This bishop cannot get to this corner without maneuvering, and it can't attack anything over here. So this lockdown in the middle is really what wins me the game. These pawns are basically blocking her from moving. BlunderWomanBot. So I start marching down. I'm queen. You still have to be careful. I still could have lost this. Check. Now here she checked me, and this was on this, and I actually didn't even see it. I was focusing so much. So when she went down here, she checked me and she gobbled that. I'm like, oh no, am I gonna draw this, or am I gonna lose this? Did I just mess up? But I just ran away a little bit. She gobbled that pawn, but that gobbling that pawn allowed me to checkmate her because I got him double stacked. Queen, boom. So 59 moves. The review of it wasn't great. They gave it a 59 accuracy for me, 52 for her. 2 blunders for me, 3 great moves, a lot of mistakes allegedly, and they rated me 1,000. They rated her an 850, but the great moves really weren't anything special, in my opinion. So I mean, this was considered a great move because I exposed that. This was considered a great move. But, well, I didn't have that much. I could slide back, but at this point, I mean, swapping the queens was considered a great move. Sometimes they say in games that are considered a little sloppy, they'll give great moves when they wouldn't necessarily. And then this one actually was a good move. Because when I brought the rook back, they wanted me to go here, but when I brought this rook back, I was looking to check her there and just try to scoop up other things. So anyway, but when she did that, I pinned it. That I can consider a good move. And that's basically it. So I whipped the 1650. I've whipped the 1300. I've whipped Daryl Morley recently. I think I got up to about level 15 on the one. But anyway, I'll be going over some of my other games. You can see, you see if they're entertaining. You're probably better than me, but you may want to watch them for entertainment's sake. And please subscribe to my channel and like my videos and comment on them if you like. Say what you would like to see more of. All right, thanks, and have a good one, peeps.